LA, you're a shithole. A shithole. The worst place on earth. The slums of New Delhi look at it and go, do you need a hand cleaning that shit up?
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be checking out a video by Isaac Butterfield. If you've never heard of Isaac Butterfield, you should definitely go check his channel out. The dude is just amazing. He's funny. He's an Australian. And he's a stand-up comedian also, so he doesn't just do YouTube, but he does a lot of videos on like just making fun of and roasting TikTok compilations and all sorts of different stuff like that. It's great. I've been watching his channel off and on for a little while. But anyways, we have right here my trip to America honest review, and he does not sugarcoat anything. Like, he tells you how it is. He's straightforward. It's just hilarious. But anyways, the links to the original video is in the description section down below. And if for some reason, Isaac, you're watching this, dude, I love your channel. I love your mindset and everything. Shout out to you, man. You're great. Keep doing what you do. I love it. But anyways, make sure you go check out his channel, guys. I highly recommend it. And we're going to jump into this and we're going to see what he thinks of America after his first trip here.
I got to meet Joe. I got to meet Joe Rogan, the dude who, by listening to his podcast, got me into stand-up. Absolutely insane. I was hard as a rock.
Nice. Joe Rogan is awesome. So I guess if it wasn't for Joe Rogan, we wouldn't have Isaac Butterfield. That's great.
Ladies and gentlemen, I love America, land of the free, home of the homeless dude trying to stab you. Honestly, guys, I've been in America for 3 weeks now, and it is quite bad here when it comes to the homeless population trying to...
It's insane.
Take your life. It's like The Walking Dead here, if The Walking Dead was a series about people who really love prescription drugs and falling asleep on the ground. I've been here a couple of times already, and this is my best trip by far. I've been lucky enough to travel with my wife and my son. It's been absolutely fantastic. We've learnt really early on that we can travel with a 5-month-old baby. Everyone else hates us because he cried on the flight yesterday, but fuck them. There's been so many great positives about this trip, but let me tell you this, people of America with your red, white, and blue genders, there are some negatives about this country that you need to understand.
I know. Trust me, I know. I was unfortunately born here. I've been aware for quite a while, and the more I watch these videos and do reactions, the more I learn how shit America is.
But first, the positives, okay? There's plenty of positives.
There is positives here. Like, the country doesn't suck. All the people aren't stupid. Some people are smart. There's some stuff that I like about America. But overall, I think Europe's better, and maybe even Australia.
We spent most of our time in Texas, which was a real big positive. So I went around and did some podcasts like the Unsubscribed podcast and Uncle Laser's podcast and the Drinking Bros podcast. That was really good. Met some really good people, and you should check out those shows. Good dudes. I also got to go to Joe Rogan's Comedy Mothership, the massive comedy venue in Austin. It is sold out every single night. It's incredible. Some of the best comics from all around the globe are there. Just like me, but I was in the audience. Anyway, it was really cool because I got to meet Joe. I got to meet Joe Rogan. That was absolutely mind-blowing. The dude who, by listening to his podcast, got me into stand-up and got me into doing videos and all that type of stuff. Really crazy to be there, meet him, talk to him, and all that type of stuff. Absolutely insane. I was hard as a rock. Another pro about America, and it's still about comedy, is the comedy is better here. It is so much better. Like, there's something about performing every single night to new crowds that makes you a better comedian. We get to do it in the Melbourne Comedy Festival for a few nights, maybe 20 nights, but people here get to do it every single night. And on top of that, comedians aren't fucking scared here. They will joke about everything, and they do. One of the things about the Comedy Mothership in Austin is they use these little yonder pouches, so everyone has to put their phone in there and you can't access it during the show.
Oh, okay, nice. It keeps down on the distractions and stuff, and also maybe to keep down on people like filming if they don't want people to be filmed or something. Nice.
So no one's gonna, record a video and put it on the internet. So you can talk about whatever you want, and that is potentially the best thing to ever happen to comedy. because it was going down a path where everyone was terrified to say anything. Texas is great, all right? Everyone's got guns, the food's amazing. We went to this one place, Archery Country. The dude who owns it, salt of the earth, the best human I've ever met. Just lovely. He would put us in his house if we wanted to. Just
The best human you ever met, because you haven't met me, sir. Just joking, of course.
earth, the best human I've ever met. Just lovely. He would put us in his house if we wanted to. Just lovely country people, as it were. Beautiful people. Other great things about Texas, food was huge, love that, and everyone had their dogs out, which was really cool.
I've never been to Texas, but it's definitely country. A lot of like cowboys and ranchers and stuff like that. Whole different culture down there than what you would have in the Midwest where I'm from.
Did see one person who I thought was doing their nails, like, you know, trimming up their cuticles in the gutter in Austin, but it turns out they were shooting heroin into their fingers, which was real cool. Not
Wow.
necessarily a negative, just something interesting. There's so much
Oh no, that's a negative. That's terrible. Wow.
variety for foods and drinks. You can get alcohol everywhere because they don't treat people like little babies like they do in Australia. They can get it anywhere. It's great. If you're
They kind of do, because you have to be 21 to drink. You can go fight for your country and die for the American so-called freedom at 18, but if you want to have a beer, oh no, you got to wait till you're 21.
on a diet like the keto diet, there's keto snacks, there's keto options, it's fantastic. I did put on about 45 kilos, but I did diet for 3 months before I came over here, so we're sweet. We're back to ground zero, as it were, which is, you know, honestly a great way to describe my disgraceful body. Some parts of Texas actually felt like home, and we're thinking about spending some time over there a couple of months next year while we do shows around America. And that was one of the big points, and one of the reasons we went to America this time is to do a bit of a fact-finding mission and find out where we should go and how we enjoy it.
You know, one thing I will say is if you are coming from Australia, I think Texas is probably going to be the closest state to Australia. It would be the state that would fit in the best for Australians because it's, you know, kind of like the outback. You know, you got the ranches, you got all that, you know, wide open spaces like they have in Australia.
And the great thing about it is we fucking love Texas and we want to stay there. Now, I know I did mention to the great American people who watch this channel that I was going to come and do shows this year. I'll give you the 10-second version of what happened, and it was actually quite a personal thing that happened to the gentleman involved, so I'm not going to go into it. But the agent who was booking all the shows and getting everything done, the visa and stuff, he had some family issues, and he had to deal with those, and that's the end of it. So that's basically what happened. But next year, I'm back, bitches. I got to meet the great Sydney Watson. What an absolute legend. You should check out her YouTube channel. I also went to where JFK was shot. Mind-blowing, hilarious. But I tell you what, the dude who did the tour there didn't like conspiracy theories, so fuck that guy. Everything was the mainstream narrative. What a wanker. And my
What a wanker. Yeah, I like to get into some good conspiracy theories. Whether they're true or not, it's fun to go down that rabbit hole for sure.
My favorite part of being over in America was I had my first Father's Day. In Australia, we celebrate Father's Day in September, and I had my first Father's Day, and I got to spend it with my little man and my wife, and we had just such a beautiful time. Awesome. Loved it. But there's some cons about America. There's some shit over here that fucking stinks. And I'm not talking about the shit, human shit, on the street in San Francisco, or basically everywhere in California. But I would like to start with California. Los Angeles in particular. LA, you're a shithole. A shithole. The worst place on earth. The slums of New Delhi look at it and go, do you need a hand cleaning that shit up? The in Beirut that had that big explosion a few years ago, they're offering brooms to help sweep up the mess. It looks like District 9, like all the homeless people are those little fucking prawn things running around. It is just awful. And the people suck dicks. They suck. Not only am I talking about the OnlyFans models that just call this place home, I'm talking about all the people. Rude, obnoxious shits. I did learn that a lot of people in LA love camping.
I've also never been to Los Angeles. I've never been to California or anywhere on the West Coast.
Camping by the side of the road, camping under bridges, camping everywhere. There is a huge homeless problem everywhere across America. Apparently in Alaska, they've actually been flying homeless people. I just saw this recently, Claire's sitting next to me, that they're flying people one-way tickets to California out of Alaska, which is hilarious. But there are so many homeless people, and obviously it is a terrible, terrible thing. People are dealing with homelessness, which I can't even fathom how horrible.
Yeah, that is terrible, and that I'm so grateful for what I have. I don't have much, but at least I'm not homeless, guys. That is great.
It is a terrible, terrible thing. People are dealing with homelessness, which I can't even fathom how horrible that is, but they are finding themselves addicted, either addicted beforehand to drugs, prescription drugs, alcohol, whatever, and they find themselves on the streets with no mental health help, there's no assistance from the government. They're just there to rot and die, and they end up like zombies. All these guys and girls just, like, you see them asleep, standing up. It's crazy. I've also noticed that a lot of people are fucking dumb, particularly in California. Like, I went to Chick-fil-A, right? And the person behind the counter was like, yeah, what do you want? It's like, well, he didn't have an Australian accent. He's like, yeah, man, what do you want? I was like, oh, what do you know, what about this bit of chicken burger? I called it a chicken burger, like a fucking idiot, all right?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Chicken, yeah, you mean the chicken sandwich? Yeah, I mean the chicken sandwich, you fucking twat. Obviously, maybe
Duh, of course.
if you guys spent less time, worrying about drag story times in school and spent more time, I don't know, with comprehension, you would have more intelligent people working in your fast food stores. And actually, I drove past the McDonald's near where we're staying. We're in Disneyland, by the way, that's why I'm wearing this shirt. Drove past the McDonald's. They're offering $17 an hour for people to work at the McDonald's. That's like $55 Australian an hour. That's some good cash. We'll leave fucking LA away for a minute. New York, we went there last year. New York's fantastic, a beautiful place, but I'll tell you this much, the subways are terrifying. You take your life into your hands every time you go on the subway. The first day we were there in New York, we experienced a terrorist attack, which was hilarious. A dude shot up the fucking train station before us. Absolutely terrifying. But hey, when in New York, what is the most New Yorkian thing to do?
Huh. But he's gonna tell us.
Experience a terrorist attack is the answer. But then
Okay, yeah. Unfortunate, but hey, I'm glad I don't live in New York because the world is going to shit. World War III's around the corner, and New York is probably going to be a target if somebody wants to bomb us. There's a lot of people there.
there's San Francisco. We wanted to see the Golden Gate Bridge and the house from Mrs. Doubtfire. So we went to San Fran.
Oh yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire. That is such a great movie. I forgot about that. Wow.
San Fran makes LA. I can't even come up with adequate descriptions in my mind to explain how fucking piss poor San Fran is. They just funded the police, so there's crime everywhere. It is bananas. They tell you at the airport, do not leave anything in your car. Your car will be robbed. They tell you that. They do it in broad daylight. It's horrifying, all right? There's human shit everywhere, right? There's homeless people. There's nothing wrong with homeless people. They're in a bad spot, but these everywhere. Like, fucking do something. All these major outlets have left San Francisco. I think AT&T left. I think Nordstrom, which is like a department store or something. Target's gone. Everyone's gone, all right? Because there's so much crime. One of the laws that was passed in California recently, I think it was I can't remember what the bill was. Bill something, all right? But basically, they now have it as a misdemeanor crime if you steal anything under $950. Basically meaning everyone just goes out and steals shit because they can't get in fucking trouble. Claire also wanted me to mention they ran out of pumpkin spiced lattes at Starbucks. And fuck you if you think Starbucks is not good enough for you. Grow up. Also, you can fuck off America with your tipping, all right? I know you don't want to pay your employee. You pay your employees $2 a fucking hour. I'm not paying 20% or 25% or fucking whatever on top of the meal or on top of the service. Sounds like I'm getting hand jobs. I'm not. On top of whatever I'm paying for, just because you don't want to pay your fucking workers.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Pay the people what they want. You opened up a restaurant. You got employees there. You're making bank. Like you're pocketing so much money by owning a restaurant. You're living in a 3-story luxury house. You're driving Mercedes-Benz or Lamborghini, whatever it is, right? Like you're doing really good, and then you're paying your people $2 an hour and hoping that the customer gives them a tip to make up the difference. That is absolutely uncalled for and just disrespectful to the employee, personally.
But if you do want me to do that, then don't make it as expensive or more expensive as to what I would pay at home and then expect me to pay 20% more.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid. Put your tax on your fucking items when you buy them. You buy something for $12, you get it at the counter, it's $15. Hello? Why don't you just make the change on the price there? You also don't understand sarcasm. I was in the airport in San Francisco just the other day, traveling to Los Angeles. What a fucking awful trip. I scanned a can of Diet Coke because I watched my figure. And this lady walked over and said, I was using that, oh sorry, she didn't say it like that. She said, I was using that self-checkout. I was like, all right, sorry mate. And I threw a bit of Australian humour on there because I'd already scanned the Diet Coke. I said, oh, looks like you're getting a Diet Coke. Anyway.
Why did he sound like a goat? He's like, eh.
She was like, no, I don't want a Diet Coke. It's like, I was fucking joking, you dumb fucking thing. I've also been really turning up the Australian accent everywhere I go because I understand you can't understand me, which is hilarious, right? I was in the elevator here at this resort we're staying at. Yeah, we're at a resort. Fucking Patreon or whatever. Buy my merch. Anyway, I was in the elevator and I turned the Australian accent up to 45. I was in there and I was going, me dick, you know, is really red raw, me cock's red raw. Oh, I tell you what, I can't wait to stick me cock in some ice when I get back to the hotel room. No one knew what I was saying. It was great. I can say anything here. What's worse than all of that is people here actually believe Joe Biden is a good president.
I do not. No. 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 Absolutely not.
When I signed the bipartisan infrastructure again, which...
Fucking what? There are so many large overweight people at malls, at Disneyland, wherever we fucking are, who are using these mobility scooters, which are hilarious. And this is a con, although it is also a pro because it's quite funny. But I saw this one lady stand up today, because apparently her legs still worked, and she was wearing a see-through, like imagine stocking material or pantyhose material, and see-through, like a skirt of that, you could see her entire ass, and I imagine, I didn't see it from the front, her front bottom as well. How can you get into Disneyland like that? Like, they check all your bags, but they didn't check this fucking giant woman's, what did I write? It was very funny. This giant woman's cavernous molehill.
Cavernous molehill, that's hilarious.
Medical insurance is terrible. If you stub your toe, you're up for 200 grand. You're fucked. That's a very big negative. Get some travel insurance. People don't like white people here either. That's something we've noticed. We get a couple of looks. Not everyone. Not everyone. A lot of people are nice, but I have noticed that this whole, division of the people is really starting to get to some people. It's a real shame that people care that much about the colour of your skin. And here's my last con about America from an Australian. Everyone here can get a gun very easily. And the reason that's a con is because it's great that I can get a gun because
there's school shootings. There's just, it's not good. Like, I understand the people that's like, well, yeah, home defense, because there is so much crime and you never know when someone's going to break into your house and try to rob you or shoot you. So it'd be nice, I guess, to be able to protect yourself. But because it's so easy to get a gun, everybody has guns all over the place. And people use those guns to rob people and kill people and do school shootings and all these terrible things.
Very easily. And the reason that's a con is because it's great that I can get a gun because I love guns, I enjoy shooting guns, good fun. But some of the crazy fucking individuals on the street can also get a gun, which terrifies me. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to go back to being a dad. We're going back to Disneyland, but we'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, with regular programming after I fly back from Los Angeles, back into my home. Thank Christ it's good to be back, even though I'm not back when I'm recording this. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be good to be back. Make sure you check out the shows that are on sale throughout regional Australia and Victoria at the end of the year, and I'll see you next time for another video. Be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. My dick stinks. Toodaloo, bye.
Yeah, that is great. Isaac Butterfield is awesome, guys. Absolutely hilarious. And if this video offended you, it is what it is, right? I mean, you know, I love his sarcasm. I love how he doesn't sugarcoat anything. He just tells it how it is. His humor is just spot on. I love it. And yeah, so not my typical reaction video. It's more of a comedic kind of take on things, which it's nice to break things up with a little bit of comedy. Laughter is the best medicine, right? Hit like, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any comments. Drop a comment, or don't miss out on any videos. Drop a comment down below. Help the algorithm and, you know, all that good stuff. And you guys have a super fun day, and I will catch you in the next one. All right, take care. Bye.